What's going on, guys? It's Kyle with DTOM Knives and Gear. Today we're going to be doing the full review of a very cool knife. It's called the Axial Gear Shift. And a little backstory here. I mean, I've had OTFs before. This is an OTF. But they never really stayed in the collection very long. I have had quite a few on the channel. A lot of Microtechs, some Heretic, Cobra Tech, Guardian Tactical. I've handled a bunch, right? Never stayed in the collection very long. There's a particular use that I had in my mind for these. We'll go over in a little bit. But this particular company I hadn't heard of. So Chris over at Grady's Gear, definitely go check him out if you're not already subscribed. You've heard his name all the time. One of my best friends in the community. He contacted them. They sent him a knife, and he was talking about, like, he was just raving about it, right? And then Kevin Lefty EDC, my brother, same thing. So he got in a knife. They actually sent him two, and Kevin asked Axial Gear, the company, was like, hey, you sent me this one. Can I send it to DTOM Knives and Gear? And they were like, yes, definitely. And I'm like, that's awesome. So this knife was sent directly from Axial Gear, and I am very, very happy about that they sent that to me and let me check it out for free. So, you know, full disclosure, I didn't pay for this knife. So I got it in, and I'm telling you what, the color of this knife is so damn deceiving. Some people say it's black, and then when I'm telling you, when you get it in certain lights, it's like a dark navy blue. I'm still sticking with the blue, but it's so close. So that's what I'm sticking with. To me, this is like a dark navy blue, but I'm telling you right now on the camera, you're like, that's black. I know it's black, but when you see it up close, I'm telling you. So I really like that color, but they have them in all different kinds. The one thing that really appeals to me about this knife, just go ahead and get that out of the way, is that it is 100% American made. We love that, right? That's what, I mean, that makes things so much better for me. American made. So you get it in this really nice box with the knife showing. There is their logo. And then, of course, on there, you have the American flag. Obviously here, I mean, I don't just buy American-made knives. I love to buy American-made knives, but I have knives that are not made in America. But whenever I do get one that is, I'm more passionate about it. It's, you know, it's a little bit closer to my heart because I love this country. I love supporting companies that are making products here in America. So right off the bat, huge kudos. But it's got to be well made, right? I mean, there's some that are not. I mean, let's just be honest. This one is one of the good ones. So first of all, this packaging, stellar. I love good packaging. This little thing slips out, magnetic clasp, right there. Magnetic clasp, you got their logo there. Open it up, you get the little card information, and then it comes in a really nice little pouch like that. So packaging, dead on. Love it. You know, when you buy a knife, not everybody cares about packaging. I ultimately don't, but it is very nice, and it shows the company cares about their product when they present it in a way like this. Very, very nice. So the knife. What makes this thing appeal to me so much? Like I said, I've had Microtechs. I've had all kinds of OTFs on the channel come through the channel for review. This, in my opinion, is the sleekest. It's very simple in its design, but it's so sleek that that's what appeals to me about this knife. It doesn't have a whole lot going on. One thing that it does not have that Microtechs have, and I cannot stand, a lot of people like them, and that's fine, it's just not my thing, is a glass breaker on the back. I don't use glass breakers, don't need a glass breaker. They kind of get in the way, in my opinion. So the fact that they went with this very sleek design and the way they even did this pocket clip is very appealing. I think they hit it out of the park. Now, you'll notice that this pocket clip, see how it sticks in right there? They actually do make left-handed pocket clips, which is a big deal, right? I think they're out of stock now. They will be going into stock. If you want to update on that, go contact them or stay tuned to Lefty EDC's channel because he's a lefty, and he's got one of these, and he's going to be waiting on that lefty pocket clip. But the pocket clip is really, really nice, really amazing as far as in the pocket. Goes in very well. I mean, it's a little tight. I'll say it's a little tight going in, but it's not like you're having to really dig it in. It's just a little bit snug, and so I don't feel like this thing is going anywhere in my pocket. It sits, about like that out of your pocket. Not a huge deal, not sitting all the way deep carry, but it is deep enough for me, obviously, because I don't really care about deep carry. Hardware, all good hardware, not proprietary. Come on, camera. All Torxes. So that's nice. Other than, with some Microtechs of the proprietary hardware, I'm not a big fan of it. It's not a deal breaker for me sometimes if I like the knife, but the fact that they did this without it is awesome. There again is your logo. This is a clip point blade. I said drop point, I think, in my unboxing. But this is actually their clip point. Nice wedge on the top. There is your Axial gear. I love these little cutouts here, just for that nice little aesthetic appeal. And then right there is your, come on, camera, 20 CV. So you have an option with this knife. You can get it in S35VN or 20 CV. So the S35VN is about $206. And then your 20 CV is $225. So for about 20 bucks more, you can get 20 CV. I highly recommend that. I love 20 CV. It's one of the best all-around steels in my opinion. However, S35VN is also a good steel, and you can save a little money if you go like that. But premium steels on this guy, love it. Love it. Especially the option for 20 CV, I think $225 is a smoking deal for an all-American made OTF, because you just can't find that in your other brands. They are really focusing on making high quality products at a price that people don't mind paying. I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of Microtechs out there that are just way more than this. But I don't think you get that much better quality. And I would argue to say that this quality is maybe even better. Microtech guys are going to fucking kill me. But I don't care. I am super impressed with this knife. Just noticed again that American flag that is right there. Come on. The construction, of course, is all aluminum. You can see how the scales are sandwiched together, but the transitions are really, really good. It has a little bit of like these little slots here that kind of, I guess they're in spots to give you some grip. I don't notice it at all, but when I'm feeling it, yeah, it's there. It's just depending on where your finger lands. Like my finger lands right here, and I'm not sure if it's really giving me grip or not, but I can feel it. So as far as an OTF, right, well, we really care about how snappy is that damn thing. If we're going to have an OTF, we want it to fire out of there, right? Well, there you go. This thing snaps amazingly, just as good, if not better, than the Microtechs. However, I will say that the actuating button, the grip of it is around the same, maybe a little bit less grippy than a Microtech, which some people are going to like, because some people say it's just Microtech thumb, right? It just kind of grades on your thumb, and this one will too if you do like I do and just do that all day, because when I have an OTF in my pocket, I do that. People go crazy. They're like, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, sorry, it's a fidget toy, and that's what I use it for. But the pressure that it takes to actually disengage the knife or actuate the knife and then bring the knife back in is a little lighter than a Microtech. And I like that because it's actually pretty difficult, which I understand. I mean, you don't want this thing to be really easy if it's in your pocket or whatever, and this is definitely not the case for this one at all. You're never going to let this thing go in your pocket on accident unless you're doing something really weird, right? Or have something else in your pocket, which I don't ever carry anything else in my pocket. But the point is that the Microtech was really hard for my son to be able to get in and out. This one was not. You can still say he was like, kind of going, more difficult than I have. But I have no problems actuating this thing. And it's very satisfying to do. As with all OTFs, you do have some blade play. Unless you get the deadlock, I think it's what it's called, which is $1,000 OTF. This is going to happen. It's about the same. If my memory serves me, it's about the same as a UTX 85 or an Ultratech as far as how much play is in that. But this is going to go back to why I originally even bought an OTF, other than the fact of a fidget toy. the way I use an OTF. So you can use it. I've got a friend at work who uses an OTF for an everyday carry, cuts everything with it, uses it as a pry bar. He drives me crazy, but he uses it and it works, right? So you can totally use this knife as an OTF. You know, as far as ease of use, pull it out of your pocket, do boop, stow it away. About the easiest that you can get, right? An OTF as far as getting it out, using it, putting it back, using one hand and one hand only. Love that. And you can use it for that. You know, you've got about 120,000 stock, and it's about 22,000 behind the edge. It's not a very tall blade. It's not a very tall grind, which is one of the reasons OTFs don't make the best cutters. This one does cut, but it doesn't cut like, you know, a TRM Atom, you know, or something like that. It just doesn't do it. It's not made to do that. But it does cut. It does come very, very sharp. I'm very pleased on the sharpness of this. I actually have gotten a couple of Microtechs that just didn't feel as sticky as this one does. And like I said, it's not a great cutter, but for those everyday tasks, you can use this to do basically anything. And people are going to call me crazy, call me weird, you know, whatever. But the OTF for me is a defensive blade, and I'll say, well, maybe like a tactical, blah, blah, blah. Well, my mindset behind that was, okay, so I carry a firearm on my right side because I'm right-handed, okay? So the firearm's always there. I was told by, you know, a guy a long time ago, this never happens, probably will never happen, but it made me think, if I have a problem trying to get this, or some guy's on me to be, you know, if I can't get my firearm out, I need to have something on my left side to get him off of me so I can get that primary weapon, right? Well, an OTF, that just kind of clicked to me, an OTF in the left pocket to be able to come out, bah, get him off of me so I can get my primary weapon. That was my thinking, right? And I carried it that way for a long time. My EDC has changed, my thought process has changed, but I still think it's an excellent option for something like that, because bring it out, boom, just, you ain't got to flick nothing, you ain't got to do flip nothing, you don't have to do anything like that. So that's the appeal of the OTF. Obviously, it is not legal in all states, but if you haven't seen my videos, I say the same thing every time. If your state doesn't allow for things like this, my suggestion is to move from your communist state into a more free state like Alabama. But I digress. Some knife laws are absolutely ridiculous. Oh, it's so scary. It comes out without just pushing the button. It's so scary. Go find your safe space and fuck off. But if you do live in a state that you are allowed to carry these, if I was to have to say or recommend, somebody is like, oh, Kyle, I want an OTF. What OTF should I get? There's a lot out there. It'd be really hard for me not to say get an Axial gear shift. Because of price, American made, now, you know, Guardian Tactical, American made, Microtech, American made, Heretic Knives, American made. Prices are higher, but the quality you get with this is just as good, if not better, than some of the ones that I have had. So value, this is where it's at. Design, this is where it's at. Now, a lot of people say, hey, the blade to handle ratio just isn't for me. I get that. Blade to handle ratio is not that big a deal to me. I can totally see what you're saying. You know, thin, slender blade, long handle, it just doesn't look right proportionally. But for me, that doesn't really matter. I like the fact that this thing, we'll do specs in a little bit, but I mean, I like the fact that this thing actually has a very long handle to where I don't have to worry about where my hand lies, and it's neutral enough where I can, you know, get more reach if I want to, or just kind of come up here like I want. So, you know, the way this jimping is done, or the button is designed, just like most other OTFs, if I want to back up here, I have grip on the button to do a piercing task or whatever, but I also have this other area, which is where my thumb wants to land. It does have grip to do my cutting task. And of course, in every grip that you want to put it in, but I mean, obviously, this is the grip. Or if you're defensive, maybe this is the grip. I don't know. I'm not a knife fighter. Couldn't tell you. But all around, a fucking joy. It really has been a joy to carry. I'm telling you, the guy that worked that actually has an OTF on his person every day, was super impressed. He's thinking about, because he's had that knife forever and it's getting old, he's sharpening the heck out of it. He's thinking about upgrading, and I told him about this, and I think this is going to be his next purchase. And I told him that when he does, there is a discount code at Chris over at Grady's Gear or Kevin at Lefty EDC. So if you're looking to get one of these, go use their discount codes. I will have, of course, their website and stuff down below. But if you want that discount code, go to Lefty EDC or Chris from Grady's Gear's page, YouTube page, and get that, because you can save even more money. So ergonomically awesome. Cutting is cool. Hey, you know what? I didn't get all my stuff out. Let's just see how this thing cuts, okay? Because like I said, this is an OTF, right? So a short grind, not a tall grind, you know, not terribly thin behind the edge. However, it does cut, and it cuts, for me, remembering, it cuts a little bit slicier than the other OTFs that I had. It's mainly because of the thickness behind the edge, where this one actually surprised me. I thought it was going to be thicker, to be honest, but 22 thousandths is not that bad. Boy, this, when I cut this stuff with the scissors, it goes fucking everywhere. This twisted sisal rope, guys. And just shout out to Lancelot Leather. Joe over there made this mat. You see this on almost all of my videos. Just wanted to point that out because this is fucking the most amazing mat you can get anywhere. So let's cut some stuff. I don't even know if I have my cardboard. So I don't have my cardboard. What are we gonna do? So I'm gonna cut cardboard with the knife to show you me cutting cardboard with the knife. So slices through cardboard, slices really well. I mean, like I said, you still feel some resistance, but not enough to make it feel like, wow, that's just it's too much resistance. Love it. The finish on the blade, this is a stone wash blade, so it's gonna hide your scratches, your wear and stuff. Love that, especially for a knife you are going to use. Let's use the paracord. I mean, come on, nothing. What about the tough stuff, the twisted sisal rope? I never give myself enough to hold on to. How's it do? Oh, it almost went all the way through with that first. So it bit in, it cuts. I wasn't expecting it to slice through this stuff, this very abrasive stuff, with the amount of the grind that it has. But it cut through it. It probably could have cut through it one time. I try to do it a certain way. I'm not very good at it, but it probably could have cut through it, over the first time. But it bit into it really well, and I think I just kind of went a little too fast through the slice. So I mean, cutting on it for an OTF, I think it's awesome. So let's go ahead and flip the camera around. We'll do some specs and some size comparisons. I want to, it's around the same size as most of your other OTFs, but I don't have any OTFs, so we're going to just put it against some common knives so you can see what it is that looks like compared to those, and then get a few more specs and then final thoughts on the Axial Gear Shift. All right, so let's get maybe just a little bit closer look, if I can get it to focus, because the camera hits me. Come on, fucker. There we go. Nice finish on this anodized aluminum coated. I'm not exactly sure what. I mean, it's aluminum handles, so the anodization on aluminum is definitely way different than on titanium. Logo there. Nice hardware. Didn't take it apart. I'm not one of those guys who takes apart knives for the fun of it or just to see how they work like Lefty EDC, especially on the OTF. Just not my thing. But, also, unless I just absolutely have to for purposes of the knife not working properly, and this is definitely not the case. There's that very nice clip point stone wash blade. Just nice. Okay, so as far as deployed, right, it is a full-size knife. For most of us, it's about 8 1/4 inches long with a 3 1/4 inch blade. Handle length is just under 5 inches this way. That way, can't see me. And then you have a blade length, a blade behind the edge at about 22 thousandths, blade stock thickness of 120 thousandths. Let's go ahead and see what it weighs, because I did not do that. It definitely feels... It feels pretty light for a knife this size. 3.65 ounces. Come on. that's awesome. Not gonna really weigh you down for sure. This knife, I don't think. I mean, people count ounces. I'm just not one of them. So to me, that is an excellent weight. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. So I don't really have any OTFs, so we're just going to put it up against some knives that you probably already know. There it is against the PM2, right? So full size knife. For sure. I mean, I think this is a full-size knife, not a large knife. A lot of people think the PM2 is a large knife, so if that's you, here you go. Just to make sure you know exactly what you're getting into, there it is against the PM2. And then what about the Andrew Demko 80-20.5? There it is, just a little bit smaller than the 80-20.5, but definitely thinner on the blades on all of this. As far as pocketable and the way the pocket clip sits, this is definitely one that sits in your pocket like a dream. You hardly notice that it's there, because of the thinness. I didn't actually measure the thickness of the handle itself. Let's go ahead and do that. Off the pocket clip. We're at about 460 thousandths, which is very, very common, normal, under that ½ inch. So there you go. As far as an OTF is concerned, the sleekness, not a lot going on, simple design, but that's what really drew me to it, to be honest. I just love the way this thing looks. Now, like I said, looking through the camera, this looks like that navy blue color I was talking about. But people say it's black, people say it's navy blue. So if you like the mystery or the changing of that, get this color. I think it's an excellent color, but they do have other colors on the website. Also on the website, they have a lot of different pocket tools. It's not just knives that they have. They have a smaller OTF, a small chubby OTF called the Dart, I believe, that you need to check out. I would love to check out one of those as well. And then pocket tools, like I said, pry bars, any stuff like that, just any kind of EDC gear. It's a really nice website. I'm not sure if all of their products are made in the USA. This one, of course, is. But they are also very, very responsive as far as getting in touch with them. They were with me anyway, so definitely, ask them any questions that you may have. They're really good people over there. And then, like I said, if you want to pick one of these things up, I'll have the link down below, but I want you to go to Lefty EDC or Chris from Gators Gear and get that discount code, guys, to pick one of these up. Christmas is right around the corner, and this would make an excellent addition to any knife collector's collection for Christmas. So anyways, guys, I really appreciate you stopping by and checking this out with me. Go over, check out Axial Gear and all the great products that they offer. And as always, stay safe in this freaking crazy world that we are living in. Let's go, Brandon. And we'll see you in the next one.